Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about some of the biggest box office bombs in cinema history. There were so many critics who panned these movies that they ended up losing millions of dollars. So, let's dive right in. The seventh spot on the list goes to The Adventures of Pluto Nash, a science fiction comedy released in 2002. The movie was directed by Ron Underwood and starred Eddie Murphy in the title role of Pluto Nash, a retired smuggler who owns a nightclub on the moon in the year 2087. The supporting cast included Randy Quaid, Rosario Dawson, and Joe Pantoliano. The movie faced production delays and budget overruns, causing its release date to be pushed back multiple times. Its estimated budget was around $100 million, making it one of the most expensive films of its era. However, upon its release in August 2002, the movie received negative reviews from critics due to its weak script, poor pacing, and lack of humor. It also failed to attract audiences, earning only $7.1 million at the box office, becoming one of the biggest box office failures of all time. Several factors contributed to the movie's failure, including its release date, which coincided with the one-year anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Additionally, the marketing campaign was lackluster, failing to effectively communicate the movie's tone and plot. Even Eddie Murphy's star power couldn't help overcome the negative word of mouth in critical reviews. As a result, The Adventures of Pluto Nash remains a cautionary tale for filmmakers and studios on the importance of timing, marketing, and audience reception in the success of a film. Coming in next on the list is 47 Ronin, a 2013 fantasy action film directed by Carl Rinch and starring Keanu Reeves in the lead role. The film is based on the Japanese legend of the 47 Ronin, a group of samurai seeking revenge on a ruthless warlord who killed their master and banished them from their home. The movie faced several production setbacks, including multiple reshoots and delays that pushed back its release date. The film's budget was estimated to be around $175 million, making it one of the most expensive films of its time. Upon its release in December 2013, the film was both a critical and commercial disappointment. Critics panned the film for its convoluted plot, lack of character development, and a confusing mix of Japanese mythology and Hollywood action clichés. Furthermore, 47 Ronin failed to connect with audiences, grossing only $38 million in the United States and $151 million worldwide, making it one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. The film's poor performance proved to be a major financial setback for Universal Pictures, which reportedly lost tens of millions of dollars on the project. Several factors contributed to the film's failure. One significant issue was the marketing campaign, which placed too much emphasis on Keanu Reeves' star power rather than the story or themes of the film. Critics pointed out that the movie relied heavily on special effects and action sequences, leaving little room for character development or emotional impact. Additionally, the film's attempt to blend Japanese mythology and culture with Hollywood-style action and romance was viewed as tonally inconsistent and disrespectful to the source material. Finally, the film's release date, in the midst of the competitive holiday movie season, made it challenging for the film to stand out and attract viewers. Coming in at number 5 on the list is the 1980 Western film Heaven's Gate, directed by Michael Cimino and starring Chris Christopherson, Christopher Walken, and Isabelle Huppert. The film was loosely based on the Johnson County War, a real-life conflict between Wyoming ranchers and immigrant settlers in the late 19th century. Despite having an initial budget of $11.6 million, the film ended up costing over $44 million, making it one of the most expensive films of its time. Upon its release in November 1980, the film was a critical and commercial disaster. Critics slammed the film for its slow pacing, wandering plot, and excessive runtime of over 3.5 hours. Additionally, the film failed to attract audiences, only earning $3.5 million at the box office. The film's failure had a significant impact on the film industry. It was viewed as a symbol of Hollywood extravagance in the decline of the new Hollywood era of bold, artist-driven filmmaking that had characterized the 1970s. The film's failure also caused United Artists, the studio that had produced it, to declare bankruptcy, marking a turning point in the way studios approached film financing and production. There were several factors that contributed to the film's failure. One of the most significant was its poorly executed marketing campaign, which failed to generate interest or excitement among audiences. Additionally, the film's lengthy runtime and slow pacing made it a challenging watch for viewers, while its controversial portrayal of historical events alienated some audiences. Coming in at number 4 is the 2011 animated film Mars Needs Moms, directed by Simon Wells and produced by Robert Zemeckis, based on the book of the same name by Berkeley Breathed. The film tells the story of a young boy named Milo who embarks on a mission to rescue his mother who has been abducted by Martians. However, the film's production was plagued by numerous delays and budget overruns, which drove up the cost to an estimated $150 million, making it one of the most expensive animated films of its time. Despite the high production value, Mars Needs Moms was a critical and commercial disaster upon its release in March 2011. Critics panned the film's plot, character design, and animation style, which used motion capture technology to create realistic human characters that some viewers found uncanny and off-putting. The film also failed to attract audiences, earning only $21 million domestically and $39 million worldwide, resulting in it becoming one of the biggest box office flops in history. Many factors contributed to the film's failure, including a marketing campaign that failed to generate excitement or interest among audiences. The film's unusual animation style may have also contributed to its poor performance, as it was not well received by some viewers. Coming in at number 3, The Lone Ranger is a 2013 Western action film directed by Gore Verbinski and starring Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. Based on the popular radio and television character of the same name, the film follows a lawman and his Native American partner as they battle against a corrupt businessman. During production, the film faced numerous setbacks, including budget overruns and delays. The budget for the film was estimated to be around $225 million, making it one of the most expensive films ever made. Upon release in July 2013, the film received mixed to negative reviews from critics who criticized its excessive runtime, convoluted plot, and inconsistent tone. Unfortunately, the negative critical reception, combined with the film's budget issues, led to a commercial disappointment, with only $89 million earned in the United States and $260 million worldwide. The film is considered one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Several factors contributed to the film's failure. The marketing campaign failed to generate buzz, and Johnny Depp's performance, which drew comparisons to his character Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, may have contributed to the lack of success. All in all, The Lone Ranger became a costly misstep for the filmmakers in the studio. Moving on to number 2, we have John Carter, a 2012 science fiction film directed by Andrew Stanton and based on the Barsoom series of novels by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Although the film cost Disney $263 million to produce, unfortunately, when the film was released in March 2012, it failed both critically and commercially. Critics panned the movie for its confusing plot, unconvincing CGI effects, and lack of character development, while audiences failed to turn out in large numbers, earning only $73 million in the United States and $284 million worldwide, making it one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. There were several factors that contributed to the film's failure, including poor marketing. Despite the massive marketing campaign, many audiences were not familiar with the source material or the movie's storyline. Disney's marketing efforts were heavily criticized for not being able to effectively convey the film's premise and appeal to a wide audience. Additionally, the lead actor, Taylor Kitsch, was not a well-known name to mainstream audiences, which may have contributed to lower interest in the film. The movie lacked any major stars that could draw a large audience. Furthermore, John Carter was released in the same year as several other big-budget science fiction and fantasy movies, including The Avengers, The Dark Knight Rises, and The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, which likely drew audiences away from John Carter. Finally, critics were divided on the film, with some praising its visuals and action sequences while others criticized its convoluted plot and lack of emotional depth. The mixed reviews made it difficult for the movie to gain traction with audiences. In the end, John Carter failed to resonate with audiences in the way that Disney had hoped, despite its massive budget. The movie failed to make a return on investment and ended up being one of the biggest box office flops in cinema history. At the top of the list is Cutthroat Island, a 1995 adventure film directed by Rennie Harlin and starring Geena Davis, Matthew Modine, and Frank Langella. The film tells the story of a female pirate named Morgan Adams who is searching for a hidden treasure on Cutthroat Island. However, the film faced numerous production problems from the start, including script rewrites, casting changes, and on-set accidents that caused delays and increased the budget. The estimated budget of the film was a whopping $98 million, making it one of the most expensive movies ever made at the time of its release. When the film was finally released in December 1995, it was both a critical and commercial failure. Critics gave the film negative reviews, citing its weak plot, lackluster performances, and over-reliance on special effects. The movie also failed to attract audiences, grossing only $10 million in the United States and $18 million worldwide, which makes it one of the biggest box office bombs in history. Several factors contributed to the film's failure. One of the main reasons was because the movie faced stiff competition from other popular holiday releases such as Jumanji and Toy Story, which likely drew audiences away from Cutthroat Island. Another contributing factor was the film's over-reliance on Geena Davis, who was cast as the lead actress and producer of the film. While Davis is a talented actress, her involvement in the movie was not enough to attract audiences, and her star power was not strong enough to save the film. All in all, Cutthroat Island suffered from a combination of problems, including production issues, weak marketing, and tough competition at the box office, which ultimately led to its financial failure. The film's massive budget, negative reviews, and poor box office performance made it one of the biggest flops in cinema history. Well, that's it for today's video. These movies may have been box office bombs, but they still hold a place in cinema history. Let us know in the comments if you've seen any of these movies, and what you thought of them. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.